What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners for today's 6-game NBA main slate, courtesy of Awesemo.com and presented by Super Draft. You may be able to hear it in my voice, but I'm currently feeling on the verge of death with some sort of cold and flu thing. Always a delight to have in Los Angeles, but I need your power of positivity now more than ever to get through this video. So right now, please hit that like button if you want a chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus, courtesy of Super Draft. Like this video and comment your top value play down below. Yesterday, a couple people did guess Jahlil Okafor correctly, so I'll announce a randomly drawn winner later on. But right now, if you want to join that person at the pay window, like this video and comment your top value play down below. But I've got to return to my deathbed, so we've got no time to waste here in the Four Corners. Let's get right into our first corner of the top owned plays, and Ben McLemore at a game at Memphis. There was 121.8 implied points for Houston. McLemore has 33% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has just 6% on FanDuel. McLemore's DK price makes him more of a potential must-have as value, but he averages just 0.7 fantasy points per minute when on the court with James Harden and no Russell Westbrook, so pivot to a less chalky PJ Tucker may be logical. Another top owned play today looks like Kawhi Leonard in a game versus Cleveland. There's 119.5 implied points for the Clippers. Kawhi has 16% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 38% on FanDuel. Kawhi's salary seems impossibly cheap on FanDuel with Paul George out, and Kawhi's average of 1.6 fantasy points per minute with 38% usage without him. But the main risk for Kawhi that they may just blow out Cleveland on their LA back-to-back. And our last of the top owned plays is James Harden in that game at Memphis, where there's 121.8 implied points for Houston. Harden has 13% expected ownership on Draftkings, while he has 34% on FanDuel. Harden averages 1.9 fantasy points per minute with 48% usage and a 47% assist rate without Russell Westbrook. He faces a fast-paced Memphis team with a poor 109.3 defensive rating, with a much more reasonable price on FanDuel than Draftkings. And now for our next corner, here are some of the other top value plays on the slate, starting with PJ Tucker in the game at Memphis. There's 121.8 implied points for Houston. Tucker projects as a top value play on both sites, with his low usage always a risk, but a likelihood of him seeing additional looks with Memphis' pace and no Russ on the floor. Another top value today looks like Elie Okobo in a game in Atlanta, where there's 116 implied points for Phoenix. Ricky Rubio is unlikely to play as he awaits the birth of his child, so Okobo has some potential with a meh 0.8 fantasy points per minute average on the court with Devin Booker, but exceedingly cheap prices industry-wide. And our last top value play is Cedi Osman in that game at the Clippers, where there's 104.5 implied points for Cleveland. There's a decent probability that Cleveland gets blown off the floor on their LA back-to-back, but Cedi looks reasonably priced with less worrisome wing defense for the Clippers, thanks to no Paul George in the lineup. And now for our next corner, here are some other core plays on the slate, starting with Devin Booker in that game at Atlanta, where there's 116 implied points for Phoenix. Booker averages 1.3 fantasy points per minute without Ricky Rubio, and the matchup against Atlanta offers a ton of upside with their high pace and a bad 110 defensive rating. Another core play today looks like Trae Young in that same game versus Phoenix, where there's 113 implied points for Atlanta. Young is pricey, but he has 9 out of his last 11 games over 50.25 fantasy points, and he should be healthier if he missed the last game due to hamstring issues. And our last core play today looks like John Collins in that same game versus Phoenix, where there's 113 implied points for Atlanta. Alex Len and Bruno Fernando are both out, so Collins could see extended minutes at center with a price that affords some upside on his 1.2 fantasy point per minute average so far this year. And now for our last corner, here are some lower owned dart throws that I'll be looking at today, starting with Kyrie Irving in a game versus Utah, where there's 109.3 implied points for Brooklyn. Kyrie returned to the lineup over the weekend with just 20 minutes in a game that ended up as a blowout, and he's priced to have upside, even though it's a risk that he can get to the 30-ish minutes you'd likely need for him to hit value. A more mid-priced, lower owned dart throw that I'm looking at is RJ Barrett in a game at Milwaukee, where there's 105.5 implied points for the Knicks. Barrett has 38 and 33 fantasy points in his last 2 games, with his usage on the way up, and Milwaukee will likely give him some open looks from 3, with he, Julius Randle, and Elfrid Payton their best chance at avoiding a road blowout. And our last of the lower owned dart throws is D'Angelo Russell in a game versus Dallas, where there's 107 implied points for Golden State. Russell has over 49.75 fantasy points in his last 3 games with over 32% usage, and he went for 52.5 fantasy points versus Dallas in 30 minutes in one of his last games of 2019. So in between my fever hallucinations, that's what I'm seeing so far for today's 6-game slate. So right now, please hit that like button if you want a chance to win a free month of Awesemo Plus, courtesy of Super Draft. Like this video and comment your top value play down below. In yesterday's video, a bunch of people guessed Jahlil Okafor correctly as he went nuts on Andre Drummond, but only one person can win, and the winner is this guy right here, Andre, who I'm sure is not Andre Drummond, who did not seem happy getting his ass kicked last night, but you, the Andre who won, email me at chris@awesemo.com to collect your prize right now. As always, those free months of Awesemo Plus come courtesy of Super Draft, so right now, step into the future of DFS to superdraft.io. If you go there right now and use the promo code Awesemo, you can get yourself $20 free with a deposit of $100 or more. Just go right now to superdraft.io or download Super Draft at the App Store because it's Super Drafters, no limits, only winning. And you can commemorate my upcoming demise by using this promo code Switch and Hedge for half off your first month of Osmo Plus. Go to osmo.com/join and use that promo code for half off your first week, or find packages as low as $3.95 a week on there. Either way, go to osmo.com/join right now and find a package that'll work for you. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags. I sacrificed like the mailman to make sure you guys got a four corners today, so help me out. Show me some love on Twitter and Instagram at Chris Spags, and subscribe to my personal podcast on my pinned tweet right now at Chris Spags. Tonight on Live Before Lock, you've got Fast Eddie Fear and Chris Randone, so tune in then. Of course, I'll be back with you guys tomorrow for another four corners, assuming I don't leave a bloated corpse. So I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Thanks for sticking with me as my throat swells up and makes me want to die. But I appreciate all of you. Hope you have a great day. And as always, good luck.